100 days. That's how long it took my client Heechin to go from zero to his first 10K month selling on Amazon with no previous experience of any kind. And guys, keep in mind, he is a college student. He's a college athlete as well. So his time is limited and he's got other things going on his plate that take up a lot of time, and he was still able to go start this brand new business, learn it from scratch, and within 100 days hit his first 10K month. He drops a lot of gems in this interview, but it's also very motivating for you guys to see that this is a possibility regardless of if you're a family man and you have a lot of responsibilities and things on your plate, but also if you're a college student, you're a young guy and you want to add an additional income stream, this is the video that you want to watch. So let's get into it.
I'm a student athlete, basically playing soccer in college as well. And initially, the reason I got started was first, I had a really bad knee injury during around November time. So I really wanted to find something, like some side hustle to do while I was injured to make the most out of it. So during around Thanksgiving break, I think, I was just watching like a lot of YouTube videos just about like FBA. And then I came across your video as well, which was, I think, about some sort of like FBM, like how to FBM. And then I started digging more into your videos, like about like some motivational videos that you had. And then like also like the success client like videos as well, which is what I'm basically doing right now, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that I reached out to you, and then, from there it just got started with a program.
What was the reason you chose the Wholesale Underground specifically? Because I know there's a lot of other videos, there's a lot of programs out there, but what made you go with us?
Yeah, so I mean, I watched like different channels as well, like other mentors that were like basically like just, kind of like advertising themselves. But like I saw you, like especially those, like I found those motivational videos, like I felt really connected with those, especially like in my position. And like those videos, like I could really relate to them. And I just found you very like genuine, like as a person, and just found it like as a reliable mentor, I should say. So yeah, that's why I basically signed up with your course.
Cool, man. And I'm assuming it has paid off. We have you on the channel. What are your highest rolling 30 days to date?
Around 10.7K, I think,
And
as
then
of
how
now.
long did it take you to hit that?
100 days. 100 days.
Dude,
Yes,
and
sir.
we were talking the DMs, so that stuff
Uh-huh.
always makes me excited because it's like, and I don't know what your expectations were when you first were like, you know what, I'm going to start a business. But essentially, 100 days ago, you had no experience, never
Exactly.
had a business before, and now we're at 100 days in, and you know exactly what you need to do to scale. You just hit your first 10K month, which is like the first big milestone where I always hope all my clients hit.
Hmm.
Yeah, just kind of tell me a little bit about your thoughts of like, coming into the business. How long did you think it was going to take? Did it happen so much faster? And just give me some of your thoughts on that, because that's an insane achievement. I don't think a lot of people appreciate that because there's so much like, 0 to 100K in 23 minutes on Instagram and stuff like that. But dude, starting from zero and getting to your first 10K a month in 100 days is insane.
Like before this, like I've never done any sort of like online business. So I really didn't like expect, I didn't know what to expect basically around like how much I will make like in 100 days basically. But like I was like initially, like I would have been like at this point I would have been happy with like just like 1K in sales, honestly, because like in the beginning I really had low expectations because like never really was into any online business. But just even getting like the first sale I got, I remember that so well. It was like a toy that I bought like off on a Walmart, and like that day like it sold, and I was like just jumping in joy with my brother, which was crazy. But yeah, like after that first sale, like I really got the proof of concept basically of like that it actually really works. So, and then I started, sourcing more, just trying to find products, which was not easy at all. But then I feel like through like experience, like through repetition, like I was able to really, like speed up the process, and then like just scale basically. And then I feel like it was just about the consistency, like about how like I could be disciplined enough to really carry out the sourcing cycle every single day. And then I feel like that really like added up throughout the days and then really scaled to 10K.
Yeah, and something to just to touch on, you mentioned, you came in with kind of low expectations, and it kind of sounds bad when you think of when you say it. Like, yeah, I didn't really have
Hmm.
any expectations of like doing this big thing or whatever it may be, but I think when people come in with these crazy expectations of like I'm going to hit 10K in my first week starting from zero,
Yeah.
they almost like are setting themselves up for failure, because I think those low expectations are more like realistic expectations that this is going to take some work and that
Hmm.
over time you're going to grow, right? Murillo, I think I'm sure you've seen him in the group. He just
Yeah.
had our interview like 2 days ago. He said the exact same thing. He's like, I came in with low expectations, and then as soon as I saw those first couple of sales, then I just doubled down and I kept going further and further. And it's like, come in with realistic expectations in the sense that this is going to take some work. This is a
Yeah.
business, right? Like,
Hmm.
jobs take work. You're in soccer. Soccer obviously takes a lot of work. College takes a lot of work. So it's
Yes, sir.
like starting a business, something that is so rare in society. It's like obviously it's going to take some work. So if you come in with that right mentality, I think it'll take you really far.
Yes, sir. For sure.
Do you think there was a time where things just kind of clicked for you, where things, because you said that sourcing was a bit hard?
Hmm.
Was it just consistency? Was it, maybe you learned a certain tactic, or what was that moment where things just clicked and then you were able to grow faster?
Yeah. So I think the key was to, for me, like the key was to really focus on like the products that were auto ungated at first for me. And then like from those, I started selling some units. And then I feel like from then, like Amazon kind of gave me that trust to like be able to ungate other products like by submitting like 10 units. And then like when it really clicked in was it was like some clothing apparel that I was like sourcing, trying to research. And then at first I didn't know like you could stack some coupons, discounted coupons together to like make it profitable. But then like I was doing some just trial and error, and then I found that there were like you could apply like two or three coupons like at the same time. So I feel like that really clicked because there were so many variations that I could like just sell from just that single like brand basically. So from then on, I was like, wow, like I really gotta like be aware of like the sales cycles as well as like the discount codes that I could stack upon. So I feel like that moment it really clicked in, I should say, and then it just kind of just scaled up exponentially, I should say.
Yeah, a couple good gems you just dropped there. So the first one with the ungating. So you essentially had a brand that you were auto ungated in. You were brand new, so obviously
Hmm.
everything seems like it's gated, right? So you had that one brand that was ungated, and then you just dove deeper into there to get some sales metrics.
Yes, sir.
Then ungating got significantly easier, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so then once you do that, then you start exploring other brands, and then you do some coupon stacking as well. And then I think you take advantage of a lot of variations, correct?
yes, yes. A lot of those, like
Yeah,
different sizings, yeah, different colors, which was really crucial, I should say, in scaling it.
yeah, because a lot of times people will be like, okay, I'll find one good variation, and then I go look for something else, and it's like, if
Yeah.
you're already sourcing from that site, you're already sourcing this product, you might as well see if blue is profitable, red is profitable, large and extra large, and that's where you can turn like one good product into like five products, right? And then that's when you
Yes.
can grow significantly more. One
Exactly.
thing that one thing that I wanted to ask you with the ungating, just because I know this is one of the think, dude, I get asked about ungating every single day, like 10 times a day.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the 100 units, did you notice that after you started getting some sales, some of those 100-unit requirements became 10-unit requirements or auto ungates?
Yes, like I think it was like around like 2 weeks ago when I was like about to hit my trailing 10K months. Like it was one of like a baby product brand that I tried to ungate with like 100 units in the past, but then I checked again like 2 weeks ago, and then I was auto ungated. So I was like, wow, like Amazon really like knows like how much you sell, and really it's like if you sell a lot, then they'll give you the trust basically. That's what I learned.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Hmm.
sales metrics, in my opinion, is king. Like
Hmm.
over age of your account, like
Yeah,
you could have a year-long account, but you've never seasoned it with any sales metrics whatsoever, so they're not gonna auto get you in anything. But if you have some
exactly.
sales metrics, it doesn't matter if it's your first week or your first month or your first 6 months, it's like they'll begin to trust you, and then that's when things get a lot easier. I always like to bring that question up because, like I said, I get that question, like, 10 times a day. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear that it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, ungating sucks. I
Hmm.
wish everything was available, right? Like everybody does, but it's like
Hmm.
if it was available for everybody, those 90% of people who are gonna quit when they see the first gate on a
Hmm.
brand, well, then they would just saturate the market on all of these other things that these other people are earning their right to sell.
Yes, for sure.
Give me some of like the biggest challenges or like the biggest mistakes that you made along your way
Hmm.
because you're doing very well and you grew really quickly,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it wasn't a perfect path.
Nope. Nope. So like I think I see myself as a really not good, but like a perfectionist basically. Like I want everything to be perfect when I do it, which it wasn't obviously for this business. So like at first I was like I got frustrated like with the mistakes, and like diving into those mistakes, I made like not really big but really just silly errors. Like for example, like I dove way too deep like on a product that wasn't selling that much because I got like one or two sales like a day. I got excited and just dug deep into that, and then just didn't sell. And then there was also an instance where like it was like a baby like hoodie zip up product, and like it sold very well during Q4, but then just to find out I got like more than half of them returned, and like I didn't check like the return rate on that product, which like literally said this item is returned a lot. So that was
Mhm.
a hard challenge, I should say. And then I think this is a really big one where like you are able to like request approval for like a brand, and but like once you get approved, like you could be like restricted on that specific product. So like I learned that like it's really important to actually like go into the Amazon seller app and plug in that ASIN to add the product and see if you can actually sell it, instead of just using the seller amp like manual ungate to just to see if you can get ungated. But those those three I should say were like the biggest mistakes. It was during like the first 2 months I should say that I really struggled, but I believe like just like in anything you make mistakes when you start. So I just took it like, very not too harsh on myself because I knew it was just the beginning, and you were bound to make the mistake. But I feel like it's really important to learn from those mistakes and just not make them again. And but I believe like those were really valuable mistakes that, led to where I am right now.
Yeah, I think that speaks a lot to your mentality going into this, which I really like.
Mhm.
Because if not, then it goes back to that unrealistic expectation when people come into this business and then they run into obstacles, and these obstacles are the end of the world, right? Like it's like, oh my God, it's not
Exactly.
a perfect path, and now this sucks and this doesn't work and blah 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 blah. But it's like every single successful client that I've ever had has thought the same way.
Hmm.
These are just lessons, right? Lessons along the path. If we had a
Hmm.
perfect path all the way to your seven-figure goal, let's say, and you've never ran into any obstacles, as soon as you run into an obstacle at your seven-figure level, which is going to be the problems at a seven-figure level are
Oh
astronomically
yeah.
bigger, you're going to crumble and you're going to lose everything that you built, right? Because you weren't challenged throughout the process. You weren't able to kind of develop those skills of persistence and grit and being able to even just to have good self-talk, like what you just said.
Hmm.
Like I saw
Yep.
those mistakes and learn from them, gave myself some grace, and I continued on. I wanted to ask you, how far along do you think you'd be in the process to that 10K month if you never joined the
Hmm.
program? You just tried to figure it all out on your own.
Yeah, that would be so much harder because like I feel like with like my mentality, like I would have made it work, but like if I didn't join your course, it would have taken like I don't know, years or yeah, probably like 2 years like to get to that 10K. But I feel like the Wholesale Underground, like it has like all the concepts that we need just very nicely organized to, go through like an actual like course. And I think one of the greatest features of this course is that like I'm able to like talk to you like one on one through messages, and like you could like verify like if the product that I sourced is like actually good or not. And like I think like in the beginning, like I sent you like two is like the limit basically for the verification process. Like I sent you like two every single day, like during like the first month or two, and like those it was like funny because like every time it would be like get rejected basically because like I wasn't like too like familiar with how to like analyze the data. But along the way, like I learned with like what you like said in the through those verifications, since like you gave me the reasoning why like it wasn't good, like it wouldn't sell, like the buy box is like too dominated by some sellers and etc. But I feel like if it wasn't for that like verification process, like I would have lost like a good amount of money and time, which I believe is really crucial.
Yeah, dude, I remember your product verifications because I remember everybody's is bad in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that what I liked about you was that you did it how it's supposed to be, right? Some people just use it as a crutch, and that's not what it's meant for. It's meant for learn the skills and then apply them. Take the information I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving you, I'm breaking it all down, and then apply them to product research in the future. And I remember you submitted some products, and I was like, dude, I think I even told you, I was like, dude, these are home runs. I was like, I already know that you know that these are good, right?
Yeah.
So that was great because then it's like, yeah, you're using it exactly how it's supposed to, how it's designed to be used. There's no doubt in my mind that you would have figured this out. It's all about time, right? How much do you
Exactly.
value your time is what I say all the time. And it's like, if I want to learn something quick, I'm going to pay somebody to go, right? If I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to learn soccer, I'm not going to go on YouTube and figure it out. I'd come to you, right? You already
Exactly.
played college soccer, right? So your skills and how many years you've put in and how fast you could speed up my learning curve, it's like it's tremendous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it is. It's like, well, why not just time collapse the learning curve significantly and then get to my goals significantly faster? Because I think you're
Mm-hmm.
right. I think without those product research, those product checks, it's like you would have lost out significantly more than the cost of the program just by learning those lessons the hard way.
Exactly.
If somebody's sitting on the fence and they're unsure about joining the Wholesale Underground, would you recommend the program?
Yes. 100%. Like as mentioned before, like it just like streamlines the process like so much quicker, and like you just have a, like you literally have like a mentor that is already experienced, like that went through that cycle of trial and error, and like he's the one that will like guide you through like those like dangers, like IP complaints that could possibly like like mess up your account. Like I feel like it's like a basically like a protection kind of that like allows you to like grow and like minimize the risk, I should say. So I would for sure recommend this course.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of confidence, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a lot of feedback that I've gotten. And
Mm-hmm.
talking about losing money on products, dude, we just had a guy. He did the product verification,
Mm-hmm.
and we saved him from buying $34,000 worth of wholesale orders.
Wow.
Oh,
Whew.
so if that's not your money's worth, dude, I don't know what is, right? It's like you don't
Yeah,
know what you don't know, right? So it's like you could make
exactly.
these insanely costly mistakes if you're going at it alone and you don't have somebody in your back pocket who's
Mm-hmm.
there alongside you anytime that you need them. Now, if you're tired of being on the YouTube hamster wheel, endlessly going from video to video day after day, but your business is not growing at the rate that you'd like, and you're probably wondering to yourself, how are people even making this work? I want you to click on that first link in the description. That's my one-on-one mentorship program, where you're going to receive the exact program, mentorship, resources, and community, just like all of my successful clients have received. Guys, there's nothing wrong with trying to do things on your own, but if you want to streamline the process and time collapse your learning curve, getting into a mentorship program is honestly a no-brainer. Like, look, this is Dolly. Dolly spent 6 months trying to sell on Amazon, and in those 6 months, her total lifetime sales were 10K. She jumped into the mentorship program, and within 45 days, she hit her first 10K month. This is Mark. Mark also tried to do this business by himself for months and months at a time, and he got up to like 2 or 3K a month. Within 14 weeks of being in the program, he went from 2 to 3K to his first 40K month within 14 weeks. And that's just a couple. Like, I have hundreds of testimonials. This is Heber. He went from 0 to his first 22K month in 85 days. This is Jose, who went from 0 to his first 53K month in 16 weeks. This is Aaron and Kyle, who went from 0 to their first 20K month. We had them up on the channel, and then they recently hit their first 50K month, and now they're doing even bigger numbers than that. We also have clients like Izzy, who bet on himself, took a chance, jumped into the program, and built a $2.6 million per year business. So it all comes down to how much you value your time. Do you want to figure this business out and stumble your way across it, making a ton of costly mistakes, and maybe, 18, 24 months down the road, you kind of have a good idea how to run this business? Or do you want to be squared away and know exactly what you need to do within the next 90 days? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And if you're one of those people who do value your time, you're tired of being on the YouTube hamster wheel, wondering how people are even making this happen, I want you to click that first link in the description. Like I said, that's my one-on-one mentorship program, and this is true one-on-one mentorship. You will only ever work with me, and I'm not going to just throw you into a Facebook group for you to fend for yourself. I'm also not going to throw you into a busy group call where your questions just kind of get glossed over because there's so many people who need your attention. This is true one-on-one mentorship where you're going to be working with me directly. So if you guys are interested in that, first link in the description. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one.